Welcome back, interwebbers. Daniel, simple man of God. And I think it is fitting that as we get close to the close of 40 Days for Life, that we are looking at a pro-life topic. Obviously, I'm a Christian. Yes, I am pro-life. The reason we are talking about this is because it has been brought to my attention by several different sources that recently on Twitter, an author offered a thought experiment, a question that he asks to those who are pro-life. He calls anti-abortion. And apparently this shuts down all of our arguments. He says over the years that he has asked this question, he has yet to find somebody who can truthfully and adequately answer this question, which makes me wonder who's even talking to. But in this little thought experiment, I'll just ask you the same question. You are at a fertility clinic, doesn't matter why, and the place catches on fire. And as you're about to run out, you can hear a child screaming in one of the rooms. So you run back in and you find the room where this child is. You open the door and you see on one side a 5-year-old child. There's fire in between that child, and on the other side of the room, a container holding 1,000 viable embryos. And it's able to take care of these embryos indefinitely, so you don't have to worry about them going bad because they're sitting out. But moving on, you realize you can only save one, either the 5-year-old child or the 1,000 viable embryos. What do you choose? Because if you choose the child, you're basically demonstrating you're not really pro-life because there's 1,000 viable embryos. You are basically saying these 1,000 embryos deserve to die, if they're even alive. On the other hand, if you choose to save the 1,000 embryos, you're a monster because you let a 5-year-old child die. And apparently nobody can answer this question. What's my response? Initially, thanks for admitting that they are life, for starters. Because so many people today, including this guy, like to say that scientists and politicians alike can't come to a conclusion as to when life begins. So who are we to say we know? Well, for starters, all embryologists and several other biologists agree that it is a distinct new life at conception. You look at the DNA, brand new human life. So then we get down to, is it really human? Does it have a soul? Well, I would argue, yes. But the psalmist said, "You knit me together in my mother's womb, knew me before I was made, fearfully and wonderfully made." We can use the prophet Jeremiah as an example that God chose him before he was even conceived, before he was in the womb. So that tells us that souls do exist. So, yes, life literally begins at conception. As soon as the sperm fertilizes the egg, life. So now how do I choose? I know I can't get both. I have to get one or the other. Well, quite honestly, I will choose the child. That is a living individual. Life has begun. I'm going to choose the child. I don't have any issue with that. I am sad for those 1,000 embryos. But I also know God can take care of that. I will save the one that is already living life. But now let's change the thought experiment slightly. For example, let's say I'm on a ship going to colonize another planet, or I'm just in a space station above Earth. And the future of the human race depends on those embryos. I'd probably choose the embryos. But a big reason that this is not a good question is you're asking people to make an impossible choice. It has little to do with their decisions. If I'm on a school bus that's about to go over the edge of a bridge, I'm just going to choose the first person I can grab to save. I'm not going to go, okay, there are 36 other kids, who am I going to get? I'm probably going to grab the closest and go. It's not my responsibility to save everybody else, especially if I can't. Likewise, if I can only choose a 5-year-old child or the 1,000 viable embryos, I'm going to go for the child first. The child is screaming. We are called as Christians to ease suffering. The child also probably has parents who were at the clinic. Otherwise, why is this child there? So I'm also helping those parents. Some people will miss out on having one of those embryos implanted, but they can still make more embryos. It still comes down to God will choose what happens with those lost embryos. At least I can make a choice for somebody who is currently living their life. I want to go off so many tangents, on so many tangents and rabbit trails, but it just means I have to have more videos. So I think I'll do another pro-life video next. Does that sound good? All right. How would you choose? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think I'm just blowing smoke? Do you think I answered his question? I think I did. Let's talk about it. Thanks for swinging by again. You know what to do. Do that liking, subscribing stuff, whatever. But choose good things. Remember, you're choosing life when you subscribe. Okay, that was lame. Okay, love you. Bye.